Welcome back. It's one of the most grueling events you can attempt, an Ironman, a combined 70 miles of running, biking, and swimming. This is a hard task for anyone. Now imagine trying to attempt this after years of battling a debilitating disease that attacks your muscles. This is truly an incredible story. Take a look. Step by step. Spin by spin, lap by lap. David Bullock is rounding the corner just days away from his first Ironman triathlon.
Super excited, super nervous. Got butterflies since May 1st when the calendar rolled over to the month of the race.
David is diving into the Ironman challenge, a remarkable task for anyone. An even more remarkable task for David.
No, I never would have dreamed that this was possible. I thought that I would be on prednisone all my life, that I would be just maintaining a disease.
In October of 2008, David was a youth pastor in Peoria, Illinois. He noticed a sudden, rapid deterioration in his energy and his eyesight.
Well, I began to see double vision very rapidly. I would actually see a door here and a door here when the real door was in the middle, which would mean that I would walk into a wall. And even then, I began to have a very low energy level.
They thought he had cancer, possibly tumors on his brain. Eventually, blood work revealed the diagnosis, Myasthenia Gravis.
Myasthenia Gravis is a progressive, non-curable disease. I know several people who have actually passed away from Myasthenia Gravis. Your body thinks that your muscles are bad, and so they go after and begin to fight against your muscles, deteriorate your muscles. Knowing that I had a pretty strong case of it 5 years ago at the age of 24 years old really made me think, okay, if it's progressive and it comes quickly, then at a very young age, I'm going to be, who knows if I'll even be able to get up and go to work and do things for my family.
David moved with his fiancée, Leslie, to Mobile. He became a pastor at Luke 4:18 Fellowship. His work with kids continued, but so did his treatments.
So they put me on prednisone, and at first it didn't really work, so they had to kind of up my dosage all the way up to 60 milligrams, and I took 60 milligrams for about 2 years of my life. Prednisone is not a fun drug to be on. The side effects can keep you up all night until you finally crash, or they can make you very irritable, they can make you gain a lot of weight. There's a lot of different things to bone deterioration that prednisone can do.
David also had a myectomy, surgery to remove his thymus. After, he says, flare-ups and symptoms continued, but that was about to change.
We were going to Super Summer, Alabama, and we actually had a very small delegation. It's really an intense training time for the students and for us to bring our students, for them to really grow. And while we were there, the Lord just put on my heart the first day we were there. He said, David, you need to go ask this guy to pray for you. Our head speaker, his name's Chad Norris.
David felt he was there for the students and resisted his own prayers for most of the trip. Finally, he felt he needed to walk in obedience, so he asked the speaker to pray for him.
So he begins to pray for me, and as he's praying, my chest went to about 200 degrees. It was really, I can't even describe it. Chad was praying for me, and as he was praying, he even told me, he said, David, I can't touch you because your chest is on fire. And so I just began to just weep and just cry out to God and say, God, you're doing something. I don't know what it is, but you're doing something.
David went home to Mobile and prayed. He says those prayers led him back to the hospital.
They ended up doing a blood test, and I got a phone call from the nurse about a week later, and they said, hey, we don't know how to explain this, but it's negative. And so I asked the doctor at that point, because I believe that there's some wisdom, and there's definitely wisdom in modern medicine. And I said, hey, can I come off my medicine? So they stepped me off slowly.
2 years later, David is medication-free, symptom-free, and as strong as he's ever been. He and Leslie are now married with a 1-year-old baby girl. Last summer, he completed the 22-mile Grandman Triathlon in Fairhope in just days he'll be attempting the 70.3-mile Ironman in Orlando.
This is my first one, so I had to actually start from scratch. I remember the first time I ran a mile and thought I was going to die. Not because of myasthenia, just because I was out of shape. And now I can go out there and run a half marathon and I feel great.
Something he never could have done just a few years ago. So, how does he explain what happened?
All I can explain it is that God came down and touched me and healed me for His glory, not for me. It has nothing to do about David Bullock. It has everything to do with God's glory and showing His power.
David hopes his story will inspire others. He doesn't take his health or a moment for granted.
God has me training for an Ironman, working as a youth pastor, being a husband to my wife and my one-year-old daughter. Tomorrow has plenty of worries, so there's no reason to even look to it. So I just ask the Lord to give me strength and show me what He has for me today, and that's what I do.
Lap by lap, spin by spin, and step by step. What a great story. A couple of things to point out. David gave permission for the doctor he says treated him to speak with us. We asked his medical opinion on why David no longer has symptoms of myasthenia gravis. The doctor declined to comment. David also provided us and gave permission for us to show these medical documents. As you can see in the highlighted section, this 2009 report states his official diagnosis was indeed myasthenia. Myasthenia is a non-curable disease, but some who have it live a normal lifestyle with treatments. So, whether you want to believe David's healing was a miracle of modern medicine or a miracle of faith, the fact is the man who struggled with his health for years will try to go 70 miles this weekend on his way to becoming an Ironman. We'll be right back with more Studio 10.